falling in love with Jesus. I'm falling in love.
2 Timothy chapter 7 verse 7. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. In the second book of Timothy, Paul wrote a letter to Timothy before what was known to be his last days. Now Timothy needed a reminder to not lose heart, even though the world was full of sin and his mentor would soon be gone. Now during this time of loss and grief and feeling uncertain, not knowing what you're gonna do, we can apply this to a lot of different aspects of our life. When something uncertain comes into our life, where we feel like we've lost something, where we feel like without something we don't know what else we'll be able to do, Jesus was a sufficient source of strength. Therefore, all of God's people will find a glorious reminder of the privilege of spreading God's word and God's love and representing God to people, even in the midst of opposition. Anyone who competes as an athlete does not receive the victor's crown except by competing according to the rules. The hardworking farmer should be the first to receive a share of the crops. The word simply says hard work will pay off, but there will be a fight. There is work that needs done by you, but hard work in the eyes of the Lord always pays off. This is strength for you to just keep going. Life is a lot like running a 5K. The start of the race is exciting, you're prepared, you don't know what the course will look like along the way, so you're a little bit nervous. Now during the race you get tired, you start to slow down, you may walk it off a little bit, but others are cheering you on to just keep going. Holy Spirit is calling you to just keep going. You feel weary and you want to quit. You feel an attack on your body, you want to quit, you can't do it anymore. That attack is physical and mental, but you keep fighting. You fight the good fight. So today I want to remind you to fight the good fight, to finish the race, and to keep faith. Everything that you do for the Lord matters, and what you do for eternity is essential. If you are needing a sign from God, here it is. God's timing is never, ever delayed. He is always on time. Things always happen His way when they are meant to happen. So whatever is stressing you out right now, whatever feels like it's not happening the way that you want it to, in whatever situation you're in which you feel like you are behind or you're too late, you're not. Everything is happening the way that is supposed to happen. Now, there may be times where everything feels like it's falling apart and it's all going wrong, but just understand that that is a time and that is the place that God sent to you to redirect you. There is something bigger out there for you. So yes, you are going to fail, but God never fails. You are going to fail. You are going to feel like you are failing. You are going to feel like you've hit rock bottom. But understand that you are hitting rock bottom because God wants to redirect you. And the only way that you can fully fulfill redirection is by looking to Jesus in that moment. Maybe that is what's missing. Maybe you feel like you're failing because you're missing God. Because that is the puzzle piece that is missing in the entire equation. So just understand that right now, whatever feels like it's not working out for you, if you feel like you're behind or you're too late, if you're about to give up, don't. As long as you keep your eyes focused on the Lord and what He has in store for you, everything will eventually work out. So just know that right now you're not going to understand why things aren't working the way that you want them to. You're not going to understand why you feel so burnt out, why you've been trying so hard and it's still not going your way. But God knows why. So all you can do is pray about it and just keep going. Love you. Let's talk if TikTok goes bye-bye. If TikTok goes bye-bye, I'm not going to fall off the face of this earth. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Because that would be sad for you. I'm joking, but rejection is always redirection. We don't need to start a war. We don't need to do all that. Just let things happen the way that they're meant to happen, whether you like it or you don't. Obviously, that might mean I have to redirect myself, make longer form content on YouTube, switch to Instagram Reels, prioritize my Instagram a little bit better, and maybe have a little bit of peace away from TikTok. I don't know, sometimes I guess we don't really realize how much harm stuff like this actually does to our mental well-being, so maybe this is a good thing. But there's always a blessing in disguise, whether you see it or whether you don't, whether you want to let go of TikTok, whether you don't. I'm just saying right now, we will all be okay. You were okay before social media. Matter of fact, you were probably happier when you were a kid and you didn't know about all of this. So just know, yeah, of course, our generation has adapted to this. Okay, we have adjusted to this. This is what we know of. This is what we've learned of. This is normalized for us. It's gonna be hard to accept change. We fear change. Losing TikTok is probably like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Like, we're going to go crazy. And I saw this lady and she's like, imagine you take an iPad away from a kid. What happens? You take it away, you're like, no, you're not playing on your iPad right now. The kid's gonna go crazy. There's no time to go feral. Like, we don't need to be angry, crazy people, because rejection is always redirection. And I promise you, if you're worried about TikTok being taken away from you out of all things right now, there's an issue. There is an issue. I am so immensely grateful for my platform, for the opportunity I was given, for the connections I can make. And I'm sure so many other people can say that too. So many other content creators who have built their life out of this. But don't hyper focus on it. And that's what happens when you consume yourself with things like this and you make it your entire life and your entire personality and your entire lifestyle. When things like this get stripped from you, you feel lost, you feel down, you don't know what you're worth anymore because you over prioritized it, because you put it at a higher standard than the things that actually matter in life. And no shame in the game. Like, we do not have it all figured out, okay? Like, I'm gonna grieve a loss too, obviously, but everything is gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. And if I have to be the one to tell you it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. Anyways, love you guys. Like, I'm not gonna disappear. Like, I'm gonna still be here. Something that I feel like isn't talked about enough is the baggage that we have to carry as Christians, as followers of Christ. It gets really heavy sometimes, I know. And sometimes you wonder, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, why is it so hard? And you just quite frankly answered your own question. If you are making the efforts to do what you were called to do, what you are supposed to do, if you are making the effort to do what is right, it's not going to be easy. I mean, come on, we live in a fallen world. So just know deep down what's easy shouldn't be right. What's easy to accomplish isn't fulfilling. And you wonder why when you easily accomplish something, you still feel like there's something that's missing. You still feel like you didn't do enough because it wasn't hard. And it's so crazy to say that sometimes maybe we should crave what's hard, because what's hard is what's full in the eyes of the Lord. It is not supposed to be easy. And we wonder why all of these people who are so troubled always crave the easy way out, because it's less for them to handle, because it sounds pleasing, because it's less to do. Your walk is supposed to be hard. That's how you truly change. That's when you know God is really coming through and shaping you. Because trust me, all of us need a lot of shaping. We all have a lot of work that needs done. So those times where you doubt yourself, just know that if you are going to seek any easy way out, let your easy way be the Lord. And anything else that seems hard to you, just know that's what's meant to be. Because when you do hit rock bottom, there is no other way other than up. And unfortunately, but very fortunately, fight the good fight. If it was all meant to be easy for us, there would be no fight, and there would be no faith. So just keep going, because giving up is exactly what the enemy would want you to do, because it's easier to give up than it is to keep going. I want to make this video for anybody who feels like they are feeling FOMO or feel like they have outgrown people. And I want to say that it is absolutely normal to feel that way, and there is nothing bad about it. And you should not feel bad about it. I reached a point in my life where I had to look back at a lot of my choices that I made, a lot of things that changed for me, a lot of things that were out of my control that changed and had an influence on me and caused me to change what I was doing and the people that I was hanging around and whatever the case may be. And I am left in an isolation season feeling very lonely, very much I'm missing out on everything, very much, oh, I'm supposed to be living my life at this time. And I'm not doing that. I am focused on work and school, and I'm with my family. And I want to say that for those of you who are in a moment like that in your life, who feel like you have outgrown a crowd of people, a community, your old friends, that maybe you still feel like you're longing to hang out with because you don't really have anybody else, stay put and stay right where you're at. That is something I had to wake up and remind myself today after dwelling on a lot of my past friendships. And I had to really sit down and think, how different are our lives right now? And if you feel like you have mentally and emotionally outgrown certain people, it is completely normal to dwell on what you used to have, the times that you used to have together, how fun it was, how havoc and reckless it was. but remind yourself that you outgrew them for a reason and you are where you're supposed to be right now for a reason, even though it may feel so lonely. And I want to say that I feel that too, and this is coming from somebody who gets along with absolutely anybody, who never used to have a problem making friends. I fit into whatever group. I had common interests with so many different people because I love to do so many different things. But now I feel super, super lonely, and I am finding myself working and still doing school over the summer when everybody else is having fun. So I had a moment today where I'm like, wow, like, am I doing the wrong thing? And a lot of the times when we feel so low and we feel like we're missing out, we tend to find ways to distract ourselves or to easily cure that issue, which would be go hang out with the same old people, go do the same old things. But just know that you are where you're supposed to be for a reason. And that is a good thing. It is okay to outgrow people. Something I had to do today was compare my priorities to other people, not to put them down or to make myself feel more superior or better than them, but instead to realize that we are in two different places for different reasons. So I experienced my redirection moment very early on compared to maybe a lot of people. And I have to at least appreciate that because I am so grateful for how my life is now. So if you feel like you're in an isolation season, you're feeling lonely, you don't know why you feel the way you do, you don't know why it's so hard for you and it's so easy for other people, everything happens for a reason, and just know that you have to really deep dive to realize that there is a blessing in that. That's all I have to say. I feel like somebody needs to hear that too. Pinch me if this is a dream right now, but we just hit 250K on IG. Guys, I took a little break on here for my own mental sanity, but I'm back. Like I never left. My content on here just needs to be geared towards like people with ADHD, because if you're here for like the slow get ready with me videos, like, this isn't your type of vibe. Having a bad day? Listen to this. I feel like I owe you guys like a life update. I feel like you guys have no clue what's going on in my life, so just stay tuned for one. I'll probably post one like maybe like tomorrow. However, if you have me added on Snap, then you do know what's going on in my life, because I do post on there pretty often. Good recs on like summer products, makeup products, because I've been using, I feel like, the same ones for so long, even though I love them down. Like, this is my favorite concealer in the entire world, but I want to try something different. I want to try a new look. I wonder if there's like something else that'll fit me better out there, you know? However, I do have a lot of trips planned sometime soon, and I want to plan more because life is too short, you know? I've been trying to keep myself busy. What can I say? Anyways, I'll update you guys later.
Who's calling it? Who's calling it? Change your life so easily. I keep begging you to stay, but you remember east of the DVP. Who's calling it?
My nails, I did them all by myself, but you can't see them close up because they look bad. But I did pink with brown polka dots. Also today. So guys, I am on day like 53 of my 75-day challenge of not skipping the gym. OMG. Talk about commitment, baby. I don't know which one.
I know you so cat, but daddy Roman thing I wear.
Love this powder so much, and it's Revolution. I got it at Target. It was so cheap, and I think it's better than like any other one out there. Oh! I died. I think I'm also gonna go in with this YSL blush because it kind of adds like a little of a bronze. Fun fact, I've had this e.l.f. Halo Glow contour thing since like, I don't even know, probably like freshman year. And I have been contouring my nose like so since then. And then because I put powder right here, I put a little bit of this Tarte highlighter, and it kind of like adds more of like a glowy look.
Oh, you're so cool. Are we taking time?
And then last but not least is the Patrick Ta. She's an influencer because she's back. Thank you guys so much for helping me hit 250K. So much more to come because we're back in the game and we're back like we never left. Okay, I keep seeing this all over TikTok and I am guilty. Okay, so there's this little trend going around where everybody shows them making their TikToks and they have to say the same thing over and over again until it's perfect. Perfectionism. It is consuming you. I feel like there's so much like there's so many people out there that are so critical about how people show up. Oh, you're talking too much, you're just chatting, you're yapping. Oh, you start stuttering in your video, you have like a speech impediment, or you're like dyslexic or something. Literally, somebody told me yesterday that they think that I'm like something's wrong with me in the head because I couldn't put into words what I was thinking on a live. And so I just saw this girl and she was like re-saying the same thing in a video, trying to like say it perfectly. And I understand like the whole like just you want it to be aesthetic, you want it to sound good, you want it to sound like you know what you're talking about, you want it to say it the right way, but who cares? Sometimes we overanalyze and we are so critical on ourselves because of people's expectations, because of what they have to say about it. And this doesn't just go for like filming a TikTok and like not knowing how to talk. This literally goes for like everything. Like this morning I was literally thinking about how we don't even realize that when we hyper focus on like everything that could possibly go wrong, or when we hyper focus on like trying to make everything perfect and right, we literally reject ourselves. And it literally happens in our brain without us even knowing. So the more content that I consume where like everybody shows up and it seems like it's so perfect and everybody's lives are so perfect and everything, like their whole morning routine is just so perfect, they don't wake up looking like I do in the morning, I don't realize it. I take it as inspiration sometimes, but I don't realize that I'm taking what actually isn't perfect and I'm making it seem like I'm doing something wrong. But really what happens behind the scenes, none of that is perfect. It's made to look like that. The whole point was to make it look aesthetic and perfect, but it actually isn't. So then we consume this content and we make ourselves feel bad or make ourselves feel out of place or like we're doing something wrong because our lives don't look like that. And it just proves how easily things can be taken out of context. And then we harm ourselves because of it. And we don't even realize. And we compare. And it's not fair. So I don't know. I just wanted to say that like, it's not real. Show up as yourself. You mess up, you make mistakes, who cares? We're human beings. That's what we're meant to do. Like, I would appreciate the people that show them like actually making like mistakes or showing up as themselves and being more realistic than being aesthetic. And I think the ultimate question is, would you rather live a more aesthetically pleasing life or a more realistic life? Would you rather consume content that's more realistic or content that's more aesthetic? Because then you can really take a step back and really look at, okay, so how is what you're consuming really influencing you? You know, I'm just saying, you know? The hold off and the wait will be worth it in the long run. Stop reaching for what is right in front of you and play the long game. Stop being easily tempted from what you can visibly see right in front of you. That is so tempting, and play the long game. Imagine you're dieting and you go to a party and you have a platter of every single snack you could imagine right in front of you. But you have been doing so good. You have goals. Your future after reaching those goals looks so much better than being tempted by what's in front of you. A lot of things of this world are distracting us from our own plan, from what God has in store for us. God sees it happening. He knows that we are easily tempted, that we sin every single day. But what difference would it make in your world to just hold off, to just wait? And instead of taking another step backwards, take one step forwards in the right direction, and then take another, and then take another. Once one foot goes, the other one follows. Because I will tell you right now that there is nothing, not one thing, nothing in this entire world that can stop God from fulfilling the plans that He had in store for you this entire time. Maybe all you need to do is just take that next step. Maybe take the first step. Show Him that that's what you want. Show Him that you are able to turn away from what's behind you and move forward. Because what God has in store for you, His plan that He has for you, is so much greater than the pain that you are going through. It is so much greater than what is tempting you. It is so much greater than laziness. Once one foot goes, the other one follows.
The devil is a lie.